Hey everybody, I'm Anna Benson, the Assistant Director for Economic Development and Tourism for the City of Lynchburg. Today I'm going to walk you through our 2023 applications for the James River Arts and Cultural District program. We've made a couple changes to the program over the last few months, and I just want to orient everybody to the process. The deadline this year will be February 24th, 2023, and we look forward to reviewing all the wonderful projects and events that will happen in the district this year. So without further ado, we'll take you through the agenda. We're going to go over about the program, eligibility and program guidelines, how to complete an application, the scoring criteria, and how to complete a final report. So just a little bit about the program up front. This program is funded by amusement tax generated within the James River Arts and Cultural District each year, which is subject to an annual appropriation by City Council. We do receive support from the Virginia Commission for the Arts through their local government challenge grant. And there are a couple other incentives available for new arts businesses that locate within the district. And if anybody has questions about that, they can contact me directly. The maximum award this year has increased from $5,000 to $10,000. We have more arts with more arts activity over the past couple years. The endowment for the fund has increased, and so we're able to increase that grant offering as well, which we're super excited about. And as I said, the deadline for applications this year will be February 24th, 2023. So project grants, just a little history. We have funded since 2012, 177 projects or events through this program, generating more than 22 million in local economic impact in the city of Lynchburg. So super successful and exciting program that has supported really just about anything that you've seen in the James River Arts and Cultural District over the past 10 years. This program has probably had an impact on, including public art like the Love Sign at Percival's Island, programs and events, musical performances, you name it. So it's a really successful program that we're proud to be able to continue to offer. So the enabling legislation, the Commonwealth of Virginia allowed localities to create arts and cultural districts with added incentives back in about 2011. And with that, the City of Lynchburg and the Office of Economic Development spearheaded the implementation of this program in the district and set the boundaries of the district as well. So where is the district? So all programs and events and funded projects have to take place within the district. You don't have to be physically located in the district as an applicant, but your event or activity or project has to happen within the boundaries of the district. So it geographically includes the Central Business District, up Fifth Street to Taylor Street to include the Old City Cemetery, the Legacy Museum, and Madison House for the Arts, up Rivermont Avenue from Fifth to Bedford Avenue, the Pierce Street Renaissance Historic District, and properties that include Point of Honor. There is an interactive map available online at this link, and you can put in an address and determine if your location for your event or activity or organization is within the district. So any citizen of Lynchburg, nonprofit organization in or out of the city is eligible to apply for the funding. Like I said, the applicant does not have to be located in the district, but the event, activity, or project does have to be located within the district. Funds can be used. We hope that funds will leverage other sources, and we'll talk about that in our review process and amount of match. And we'd like to see, sponsorships and other leverage and collaboration among organizations and funding entities to do these projects. This round of funding, any project that starts by December 31st, 2023 is eligible. Applicants must be current on any and all City of Lynchburg taxes prior to the grant disbursement, and it is for arts and culture related projects only. So the program guidelines are also available on the website, but we'll go through them pretty quickly here. Arts and culture related projects only, as I said. Projects must show an estimated economic impact, and we'll walk you through how to do that in the application process. They must demonstrate a public benefit. You must demonstrate familiarity with arts and cultural organizations, artists, or constituencies within the district. We'd like to see collaboration in the district. Projects that have secured match funding will be prioritized, as I said, and we'll show you how to show that in your budget. They can only be used for the specific event for which the application is for, so they can't be used for routine operating expenses. Place within the Arts and Cultural District. Programs that have been funded for more than 3 years are not eligible to apply for the same project, again, without significant innovation or change. If a program or project already receives significant support from the city, it will not be given as high a priority. Certain projects that utilize public space may be required to go through our special event permitting process, like a street closure or using a park or other public space. We have another permitting process for that, so that's just something to keep in mind. And all applicants should review the James River Arts and Culture Vision Plan. This was developed by a consortium of nonprofit arts and cultural organizations within the district over the past year, sort of setting the vision for this program and the types of things that they want to see funded. So take a look at that before you apply as well. As I said, the program is funded by amusement tax. So it is in city council code that all businesses and organizations that charge admission to an activity shall impose a 7% tax on the total amount charged for admission. So there's information here about how to determine if you need to pay an amusement tax and to contact the Commissioner of Revenue's office about how to do that and whether or not that's necessary. So their information is linked here as well. So now I'm going to take you over to our new application process. This is going to be an online form this year for the first time. For those of you that have applied for this program in the past, it will be a very similar process. We've just moved it into one online form where all of that information will be submitted through a portal online. And we'll head over there right now. Let me switch my screen over. Okay, so I will take you through this application now. My apologies. All right, so the project title, obviously this is some of this will be pretty self-explanatory. And again, if you have questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out to our staff for clarification or assistance with any of these. Anything with a red asterisk is required to submit the form. So again, once you load everything in, make sure it will not let you submit the form unless everything with the red asterisk is answered. So the project title, who was the applicant, whether it's an organization or an individual, the full address and contact information for the applicant, the project start date and the project end date. This can be a little tricky for something like an exhibit or a public art project, but we ask that you give your best effort to say when you think that project will be ready for the public to engage with it. That's that start date, not necessarily when you're going to start painting. If it's a public art, I'm just giving an example here, but when that project would be open to the public and about the lifespan of that project. So again, these are areas that we could certainly walk through with you. If you have trouble answering these questions, we're happy to advise on what can go in these project start and end dates. The estimated attendance, if it's a program or an event, we ask that you estimate how many people you think will engage with that. The requested grant amount is obviously an important piece here, and the total project cost. And we'll talk a little bit about match requirements. There isn't a match requirement, but the scoring criteria does give you more points if you have a greater match. We like to see, like I said, other funding sources leveraged and collaboration. So we head into the project summary section. Briefly describe the project for which you're requesting funding. Make sure you include really relevant details. When it'll start, when you expect to complete it, who are your target audiences, that sort of thing. Does the project have community support? This is where we talk about collaboration, leveraging other sources of funding, what other organizations or community groups might you be working with to produce this project, who you think might be engaging with this project. How does the project or activity promote a new or innovative offering in the Arts and Cultural District? How long has the project occurred? If this has been a multi-year project, what achievements have you had over the past few years? Please describe how the project benefits the public and the citizens of Lynchburg. Does it address any community issues such as poverty or economic development or inclusivity? Is it inclusive in reaching new arts audiences? These all will directly relate to the score sheet that we'll walk through momentarily as well. We ask that you explain how the project will enhance the artistic or cultural benefit to the citizens of Lynchburg. This is a narrative portion of, who will you be reaching? Are you partnering with businesses potentially on your project? Are you the goal being to drive traffic, drive spending into the arts and cultural district? So explaining here how your project is doing that. And then we ask that you provide an economic impact report from the Americans for the Arts, Arts and Economic Prosperity Calculator. And I'll show you exactly how that works, and to attach the JPEG, PNG, or PDF file right here in the application. The Arts and Economic Prosperity Calculator is really the gold standard for the nation. Lynchburg's actually been a study community for this program. So it surveys communities of all sizes across the country on their nonprofit arts and cultural audiences and their nonprofit arts and cultural spending. So all of that information with our local tax rates are fed into this. And really with just 3 simple inputs, we are able to estimate what the local spending, local jobs, offset to household income, and local and state government revenue will be by arts and cultural projects. It's a pretty fantastic tool. So all you have to do here are 3 inputs. One is the population of your community. Lynchburg is in the 50,000 to 99,999. So you would choose that. And then you would say the total expenses of your project, not the total expenses of your organization, just of what you're applying for funding for. And then the attendance, the expected attendance of that project. And you enter those 3 things. So say it's a $5,000 project and you expect 500 people to attend. It will create a little report here. And what you'll do is you'll either screenshot this and save it as a JPEG or an image file. Or you can maybe print it to a PDF, somehow save this file, and you will upload it. We'll go back to the application. You'll upload it here in this section. So again, if you have questions about this, we're happy to walk you through the process. It's a great tool actually to use for any of your programs or projects that you may be requesting funding for from this or other programs. So a great tool to be aware of. Next, we will ask that you upload your project budget. I'm going to take you through at the end of the presentation our website where you can actually pull that document down. You can also click here and pull that down, and then you'll upload it. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You'll fill it in, and then you'll upload that document here in the application. Along with your budget spreadsheet, we also ask that you include a budget narrative. So the budget narrative, I'll give you an example. On your spreadsheet, you might say, I'm spending $500 on marketing of this program. So in your narrative, we'd like for you to explain in a little bit more detail what you mean by marketing, right? So it might be, okay, I'm going to spend $50 on posters. I'm going to spend $100 on boosted social posts. You get the idea. So while your line item in your budget might be a more holistic number, $500 for marketing, your budget narrative will explain what exactly you mean by those expenditure lines in a little bit more detail. And so that's what we're looking for in this budget narrative. And then we would like to just say, who in your organization or what organization or fiscal agent are you using to manage, to obtain, basically receive the funding and manage the funding. This can be a simple one-liner, or if you're using a fiscal agent, this might be, this is the organization that I'm working with to manage these funds. And then finally, you'll upload a copy of your organization's most recent IRS W-9 form. This just gets this out of the way so that disbursement process can move more quickly. You can also download this form on our website, and I'll show you where to do that and it's also an easy IRS W-9, in Google will pull up this form. It's a pretty standard form to include for any financial disbursement. And then finally, we ask that you just authorize the application. This can be the person submitting the application. This can be your organization's executive director or your CFO or whomever, your grant writer, whoever's submitting the application or authorizing the application. So, name, contact information, signature, and then clicking this little box here that just says that you're affirming that, what you have put in the application is true to the best of your ability, and that you'll use the funds for what you have applied for, that good stuff. So I'm going to take you back over to our presentation. And here we go. All right, so we went through how to apply, how to complete that application in these areas. Again, there's the link to the application is available here, and it's also available on our website, and we'll show you that in just a minute as well. So required documentation, I reviewed this, the proposed budget worksheet, and this is just a screenshot of what that proposed budget looks like. You may edit the areas of the expense areas on the left. If these don't exactly fit your needs, that's fine. Just that you're, kind of explaining or being clear about what it is that your expense is. We would like for you to show that, what of the requested arts and cultural grant, if you're applying for $10,000, maybe 2,000 of it is for supplies and 3,000 of it is for marketing. You get the idea. And then also if there's any in-kind funding or other funding that is supporting those areas as well. And then they all total, this should all automatically total for you in the Excel sheet. And then that Excel sheet, once you've completed that, is what you'll upload into the application. So I'll move on to the application review process. So February 24th at 5 p.m. applications are due. They'll get a time date stamp through that online application. Then our staff will compile those applications for review by our Arts and Cultural Review Committee. The review process should take about 6 weeks, and we'll be in touch with award amounts and the disbursement agreements following that point. So just for full transparency, this is the full scoring criteria that the committee will use to review each grant application. And it tells you, what the category is, what the criteria is, and then how many points are awarded per category. So residency, like as I said, there is a small percentage or points awarded for whether or not you're located in the city. Collaboration, this is where we like to see, are you working with other organizations? Are you working with businesses, other civic groups, that kind of thing, to encourage collaboration in our community to further arts and culture? It's worth 15 points. Are you offering a new or innovative activity in the district? That's worth 15 points. Is there a public benefit to the citizens? And is it inclusive to as many citizens as possible? That's 15, it's worth up to 15 points. What is the arts and cultural impact? Are you advancing professional, artistic, or cultural presenters, or exposing citizens to artistic and cultural excellence? Worth up to 15 points. Your economic impact, based on your economic impact calculator, we've got a couple areas here, and that's worth up to 15 points. What percent of your funding is matched? Do you have a one-to-one match? Is it a little less than one-to-one? And that's worth up to 15 points as well. So, and then of course the committee would provide any additional comments along with the score, which would then help us to determine then staff will determine grant amounts and make awards and disbursements based on the scoring criteria of the committee. So just to review on here, once applications are received, they're scored. The grant amounts are awarded. That notification, again, will take 4 to 6 weeks from the application deadline. So bear with us as we go through that review process. Applicants will be awarded or be notified of their grant award, and you'll then complete a disbursement agreement, which is essentially a contract with the city of Lynchburg saying that you will receive this money and you will use it for the intended purposes. We ask that you complete that disbursement agreement within 2 weeks of your award notification so that we can go ahead and get these get these payments made. You are required to retain all financial records and supporting documents of the award for at least 2 years. That's in case this program is audited, which the city has an annual audit. If this program is audited annually, we will be able to reach out to you to ensure that the funds were administered appropriately. We ask that you acknowledge the city of Lynchburg in your publicity materials if you receive funding, and that you use the city logo, and we will be happy to provide that for you upon disbursement. And then finally, we ask that you submit a final report within 45 days of your project completion. Understanding that this is going to cover events through the calendar year 2023. We will know when your event is happening. We will follow up with you, but that you put something on your calendar to let you know that within 45 days of actually executing the event, that you can submit a final report. And this final report, which I'll go through in a second, allows us to report on the program and to share the great work that you all are doing and how these funds are leveraged in the community and what that economic impact is of the arts and cultural sector, how you're reaching new audiences, and all of those wonderful things that you are doing each and every day to further arts and culture in the city of Lynchburg. The final report is really about 2 pages long. It's super simple, but just tells us, who did the project, when did it occur, what happened. Just give us an example. Sometimes what you expect to happen may not have happened, or things may have changed slightly, over the course of time. So, what were some big takeaways, maybe testimonials from community members that visited or attended the project, anything that we can do to further tell your story as well. And then we ask you to submit sort of a final budgeting of the project. Sometimes expected expenses are less or more, and this helps us really run a final economic impact report on the program of what funds were actually spent in total for the year by all of the grant recipients. Total number of artists participating, just a little bit more on the final report. Total number of artists participating in the project, what was the attendance? If you can, let us know what some of the demographics of any attendance might be, whether is it children under 18? Is there any other demographic information that you can, male, female, race, that you can provide us with is wonderful. In your own words, how did this project affect or advance the James River Arts and Cultural District? Please include any publicity that you've received or marketing materials that you used to publicize the event. We love images. Any images that you may have taken at the event, we'd like to include those as well. And then, as I mentioned before, potentially a testimonial from your staff, a board member, an attendee about the project that just puts the great work that you do into the words of the community, and that's always fun to share as well. So that's it. I'm going to show you the webpage really quickly, and then, but this is just our contact information. Marisa Nanadovich will be the primary manager of this program. I will be back up to her to help answer any questions that you may have in the process. So again, either one of us is happy to talk to you, to meet with you, to go over your application and help you, prepare the most successful application that you can. So I will switch back over to the web really quickly just to show you the website, which many of you are familiar with as well. So this is on our opportunitylynchburg.com site / James River Arts and Cultural Program. You can also find it under our incentives and programs tab, and there's right here with the James River Arts and Cultural District. So essentially, this is everything that I just covered in the slides, but a map, and here's the link to the interactive map of where is the district. How do I apply? This is your link for applications. These are the, some of the required documentation, and it'll be down here as well. The full program guidelines, links to download that required documentation, the Excel file, your W-9, who is eligible, what the review process is, program fund terms and amounts. This is at $10,000, which we've been able to increase that amount this year. Super exciting. Your disbursement agreement, all of those details, and then also that information about amusement tax and the links to the Commissioner of Revenue's office. We have a past program gallery down here so you can just see just some of the amazing work that you all are doing each and every day to further arts and culture that this program has been able to support. So we're super excited about that. So like I said, any questions that you have, please reach out to Marisa or myself and visit the website. Applications will open Friday, January 27th and close on Friday, February 24th. And we are happy to work with you to prepare successful applications. Thanks so much for your time.